Social media alters your identity because it automatically puts ideas that you don't necessarily want in your brain. For a long time, I thought debating about politics and religion and geopolitics and history was an important thing in my life. And don't get me wrong, I think it's an important thing to be wary about what's going on in the world previously and currently. However, at my current stage in life, I don't necessarily need to know about who is getting bombed. Okay, my business does not derive some sort of gain off of a humanitarian reason, like helping those people over there. So for me, paying attention to the news, paying attention to what's going on in the world is not actually helping me. It's hurting me. And you might say, hey, you gotta, know about what's going on in the world around you so you can change it and make it a better place. And I actually agree with you. But I agree with you differently. I think I'm going to be able to help the world the most when I am working on my business, because then I can use that money to later influence the lives of others. So I'm wrapping around, right? I'm first doing the hard work per se, which is working on the business, and then I'm helping others, okay? And obviously the best business is to try to help others, which is this. But for so long, I was honestly consumed by debate and just useless topics that don't have a impact on my day-to-day life. And because of this, I spent so much time just thinking about random stuff like, oh man, this politician is better than the other one. And when you realize it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. What actually will affect you is by quitting the annoying social media that is taking away your future, taking away your identity. And think about this. Imagine one day you randomly scroll on TikTok, right? You probably are doing that right now on the other tab or on your phone. And you see a TikTok that has like 3 million likes and it's about being a professional NASCAR driver. And for some reason now you have the idea that, hey, people will respect me if I have this title of a professional NASCAR driver. Maybe you never wanted to be a NASCAR driver, but now that's just in your mind. What is that going to do to any normal human? Well, that's going to influence you. Now you're going to maybe want to partake on that journey of becoming a NASCAR driver or whatever it is, right? We can go 1,000 different ways with this. And this is the issue. Social media just takes your attention. You know this already. And it's giving you a false idea of what success is, because we don't actually all have the same definition of success. Maybe to you, being a super well-read person on some like niche piece of literature is your version of success, and being able to maybe debate on that thing, maybe that's your version of success. I don't know. Okay, maybe it's not having a Lamborghini. I don't know. But what's going to happen is social media is going to take over your mind. It's going to influence what you think is right and wrong simply because some developer found the best way to capture the most attention, right? You're really a slave to the developer. Do you want to be a slave? Okay, we're all kind of slaves when you think about it, but you get to choose what you're a slave to. I'm a slave to my business. I'm a slave to, a higher power, whatever you want to believe in, right? But you're right now actually a slave to social media and, abstracting that idea, you're a slave to the developers that just want to keep you using the app. You're really a slave to the advertisers too, right? And this is really bad because you're losing your time. And by losing your time, you can't actually do the things you want to do. Maybe it is getting in the best shape of your life. You're not going to do that now because you're watching social media. Yeah, at a low level, you could just stop watching social media, but even the consumption of certain topics, certain debates, that is taking you away from your goal of getting a six pack. And this is the thing. We all have now a bunch of information being thrown at us 24/7. So the real thing you need to do is not be a well-read person, is not being a person who's on the news 24/7 and able to message your friends about it. No, it's actually being a person who sort of lives in this echo chamber of just your own thoughts, right? You need to become your own person. You need to become your own man or woman, right? So social media is quite sinister when you think about it. Okay, I think there's good reasons to use social media, but when you really take a look at the whole system, you realize that we sacrifice technological advancement, essentially connecting everyone in the world, which is insane, right? For our focus. Okay, I think the average person has like an attention span of like 3 seconds, like below a goldfish or something. That is going to destroy lives. It is destroying your own life. Okay, not just anyone's life. It is your own life. You need to take responsibility now. And how you're going to take responsibility is by developing a plan, which I outline in a bunch of videos on my channel. And you can literally do a one-to-one call with me for like 30 minutes and we'll just talk. But for most people who even just clicked on this video or saw the video, they're not even going to take that first step. Okay, the first step is literally just saying, I have an addiction. I have an issue with social media. That's fine, okay? Trust me, I've been at this thing of just quitting bad habits for years, and I still fail. I literally still fail. Every single day, I make a mistake, okay? Nobody's perfect, but it's just setting that first intention and then iterating. Okay, iterate. And now it's going to even get more worse because AI models are just destroying everyone even more because now there's even more content. It was just human content, now it's AI content too. That's a whole nother conversation. But please, take care of your focus now, because if you don't do this now, you're not going to become financially free. You're not going to find your wife. You're not going to find good friends. You're not going to build the body that you want. You're not going to, I don't know, climb Mount Everest. You're not going to do anything interesting ever. And if you want to do something interesting, it just starts with quitting social media. So I will see you later.